Hi, and welcome to this Cup Experience briefing. I'm Jack Griffin, and I hope you'll let me be your personal guide to the America's Cup. Today I want to take you around the race course and show you how to watch the races. What's going on here? Whether you're watching the video or you're there in person, it can be difficult to follow. The courses have the same basic layout for one-on-one match racing and for fleet racing, with all the boats on the same course together. Here's a course layout from the official sailing instructions for the fleet race held in Plymouth, England. The red shapes on this diagram show all the marks and gates that make up the course. But the most important shape on the diagram is not red. It's the arrow that shows the wind. The race committee aligns the course with the wind direction. They set the start-finish line approximately parallel with the wind, and the first leg to a mid-course mark is a reach sailing across the wind. Let's see what this looks like on the water. When you watch a sailing race, always ask yourself, which way is the wind blowing? We're at 33 seconds until the start. The race boats are behind the starting line. If you're watching from the shore or from a spectator boat, it can be hard to see the line. Bring your binoculars and look for the race committee boat, which looks like this, and will be at one end of the starting line. A smaller boat marks the other end of the line. If you're watching on video, you'll see the starting line marked on the screen in red. But that's just on the video. If you're there in person, you'll have to figure out where the line is on your own. At the start, the boats head for the first mark and then turn downwind. Let's have a look at the action. The race boats are jockeying for position behind the starting line. Let's watch from on board the race committee boat as they cross the line. The boats that got a good start are headed for the first mark. See how the line in the video has turned from red to white when the start signal was given? The slower boats are still behind the line, and the leaders are already approaching the mark and rounding it. If you think that first leg went fast, you're right. 36 seconds. The leading boats have come from the starting line and rounded the first mark, and now they're headed downwind to the Leeward gate. At the downwind end of the course, we find the Leeward gate, indicated by two mark boats. The race boats must go between them and then round whichever one they want before heading back upwind. Let's see what this looks like on the water. Which way is the wind blowing? Right. Let's watch the action. All the race boats are going between the two mark boats. And now we'll see their tactics. Here we can see that Team New Zealand is headed for the left-hand mark boat to round it. Most likely, they think they'll have better wind on the left side of the course when they head back upwind. The two Oracle racing boats are headed for the right-hand mark boat, probably because they expect better wind on that side. Look at how the first Oracle boat, skippered by Russell Coutts, is already at the 3 boat length zone around the mark boat, while Jimmy Spithill's boat is still outside the zone. That means Coutts has priority rounding the mark and Spithill has no rights to try and go inside. But the sailors have to judge the distance. Those circles can only be seen on the video. Let's watch what happens. Spithill has squeezed inside. In the next sequence, you'll see from the onboard camera on Coutts's boat that Spithill is inside. Coutts asks for a penalty against Spithill and gets it. Now you can see the results of those tactical decisions. Spithill has a penalty, and Team New Zealand has a large separation from the two Oracle racing boats, so any differences in wind strength and angle on either side of the course will be amplified. The boats are headed for the upwind end of the course and the Windward gate. Here too, the race boats sail between the two mark boats and round either one. Let's see what this looks like on the water. Which way is the wind blowing? You got it. Let's have a look at the action. The race boats are headed through the gate. Spithill is in the lead and will round the left-hand mark boat. Let's watch him go through the gate and make his rounding. there's a detail I want to show you. Look at this purple highlight. That's the Jenniker, the big downwind sail, rolled up and ready to deploy. We'll have another look at it in a minute, but now let's look at the tactics. Remember which way the wind is blowing. There are two mark boats at the Windward gate. You have to go between them and then round whichever one you want. All three race boats in this clip are going around the same mark boat. Spithill, highlighted in yellow, has already rounded. Coots, with the black sails, has started his tack, turning towards the mark boat. Team New Zealand, with red sails, is slightly behind and still needs to tack. But Team New Zealand is already inside the 3-boat length zone for the mark they want to round. Coots is outside the zone for that mark. Team New Zealand will tack and round the mark, and Coots will need to give Team New Zealand room for their maneuver. Here we go. Team New Zealand tacks and Coots gives them room, but he has better speed and passes them. You can see Coots go by from the camera on board the New Zealand boat. And here you can see Coots's Jenniker already deployed, while Team New Zealand's is still furled. Let's watch it unfurl from onboard Team New Zealand's boat. Here's Team New Zealand's Jenniker unfurled, and here's Coots' Jenniker. By the way, you probably know that the small sail used on the upwind legs is called the jib. Okay, on to the finish. For this course, the boats do 3 laps through the downwind and upwind gates. After the last time through the upwind gate, they round the last mark and head to the finish line. Let's have a look at this on the water. You know what I'm going to ask. Which way is the wind blowing? Spithill is the leader, already rounding the last mark, ready for the final leg to the finish. Team New Zealand will round next, and Coots will follow. The final leg is a reach, sailing across the wind to the finish line. Spithill comfortably in the lead, with Team New Zealand in second, followed by Coots. But what are these two boats doing? They're about half a lap behind and are still sailing to the Windward gate. Let's watch. Okay, now let's see the finish. One last time. Which way is the wind blowing? Spithill has already finished, Team New Zealand is right behind, and Coots is in third. And here are the slower boats heading to the Windward gate. Let's watch Team New Zealand finish, sailing between the race committee boat and the small boat with the green stripe. Okay, now you know your way around the race course. I hope this will help you. You watch the races on TV, YouTube, or in person. Thanks for your attention. Remember, if you have questions, come to www.cupexperience.com and ask Jack. I may not know all the answers, but I know people who do. Please join me again in the Cup Experience briefing.